So as we can see here, the brachiocephalic artery, now the brachiocephalic trunk. So the brachiocephalic trunk is quite unique to the right side of the body. So always remember the fact that towards the right side of the body, we have the transport of deoxygenated blood, as opposed to the left side of the body, which takes care of most of the oxygenated blood. So brachiocephalic artery right here because it's an artery, of course, it is responsible for supplying oxygenated blood to the parts of body that needs oxygen. So it arises from the right ventricle right here, right atrium right here. And what we have to know when describing the brachiocephalic trunk. Now, the brachiocephalic trunk, it has more relations as compared to the branches. So it's a small, it's a pretty long part of the aorta. It's the biggest branch of the aorta. It measures about 2.5 to 5 centimeter in length. Yes, about two. Oh gosh. So it's about not 2.5. 2.5 is too less. So 4 to 5 centimeter in length, the brachiocephalic trunk right here. And it is 4 to 5 centimeter in length, and it's situated right behind the manubrium. So, whenever we talk about the relations, it's important to divide the relations into the relations in terms of muscles, in terms of other arteries or veins, and in terms of other organs. And then we have bones. So starting with the bone first, it lies behind the sternum. So we have the manubrium here, and behind the manubrium, we have the brachiocephalic trunk. And then the major arteries that we can find close to it is the supravena cava right here, and then we have the vagus nerves. This is very important because the vagus nerve is the most direct relation of the brachiocephalic artery, and there's not much. There are not a lot of great vessels that are in close vicinity, except a nerve known as the vagus nerve and the supravena cava. So that was the relation in terms of vessels. The next thing that we can see here is the organ relation. So anteriorly, we can see that there is the presence of the remnants of the thymus that's mostly seen in the adults. In the case of children, it's quite larger, the thymic remnant. The thymus might be more widespread, but here we have just a small portion of the thymus. And posteriorly, we can observe that there is something known as there's the trachea. Presence of the trachea. Trachea is actually the common relation of most of the great vessels. And lastly, there is the muscles. So we don't have a lot of muscles that are in relations with the great vessels, but remember that in the case of brachiocephalic artery, we have the sternohyoid and the sternothyroid. So we have quite a lot of relations to remember here, but the good part is that there's not a lot of branches to remember in the case of brachiocephalic trunk. So the first thing that comes off of the brachiocephalic trunk is a subclavian artery. So the subclavian artery is the continuous relation, and then we have the common carotid artery that ascends towards the skull, the common carotid artery right here. So it's quite simple to know the relations and know the two branches. That's all.